The hardest decision is probably like learning how to take care of them without like losing yourself. Family, you almost feel like entitled to your family. When in all actuality, you really not, but you still should take care of them. Honestly, I think losing. I've been winning since I was, 19 years old. I've been number one in the country all my life. I never experienced a loss till a year and a half ago. I just started determining like what's good from bad and what's a good friend or what's a bad friend. Adversity will tell you who the right people, because when it's not all good, some people gonna be around, and when it's all good, everybody gonna be around. I'm single right now. Right now, at this second, I'm just not like, I got big opportunities coming and I need to really capitalize, so I'm not really on the relationship thing, but I mean, it's hard. Say like a lot of people say it's different times and stuff. I think it was always a thing. It's just more broader now because of social media. But I think they was always ask for money and things like that. Now I feel like it's just more of like what you can do for somebody more than just you being you. Ain't too much sticking around.
Welcome to Personal Perspectives, podcast episode 10. And today's guest really don't need no introduction, but we still gonna give him one. The Prince of Boxing, a polished amateur record, and also now a pro boxer from 15 to 2, Lorenzo Simpson. How you doing? Welcome. You know what I'm saying? I got family on here, so it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Very cool. But before we really get into everything, I always ask my guests, right? How's your mental from 1 to 10?
Man, it been good.
Been good.
Yeah, it been real good. Probably like 8 or 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, right, superhero, right, that I'm going to compare you to.
Yeah.
Superman. You give me the Clark Kent look. So is this your look for now on, or what's going on? I like the glasses.
I mean, I'm just like coming more on to myself, you know, into myself, learning things, really being like, open book. So, I mean, I could pull off a lot of looks, but like most of the time, this is kind of like my little training, chill, smart look.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah.
I like this. Okay, so said the mental health, right? From 1 to 10, you said very good. You know what I'm saying? So that's a 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to say 10 because when I think of 10, it's like perfect.
Okay.
So I get like an 8.5, 9, because I don't know what perfect is, but it's good.
Okay, I like that answer. Okay, so before we dive all the way deep into it, I have wine. You know, you're a pro boxer. Yeah. You don't do the wine or the liquor, nothing like that. Yeah. So we did compliment you with some Fiji water, and then we also will have our new sponsor coming in. She got some food for you to taste.
Okay,
Chef T.
It.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a little later on, but we're going to get into it. So can we bring him in? The water, please. So we got Fiji for you. And I'm going to pull up for you. I got you. You.
My bad.
Yeah, no, I don't like my guests touching. You know what I'm saying? We got you. But yeah, though, so you said that you're on camp right now, right? Or you training?
No, I'm just training.
Okay.
But I start like 8 weeks, 10 weeks out.
Okay, so for a pro boxer, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does your everyday schedule look?
Wake up. Most of the time, if I'm not in camp, I will run. So I ran this morning 3 or 4 miles, sometimes 5. Wake up, run. I'll probably eat after. Then I do strength and conditioning or boxing gym, and then on that night.
Okay, so we missed the toast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know you got the water, I got the wine. We definitely got a toast. You call it.
For sure.
What we toasting to?
It's elevation.
Elevation. Chino told me stay up, so I'm gonna always stay up. I'm always stay up. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Chino.
Yeah, fact. Shout out to Chino. Okay. So question 1, right? So if you could paint a picture of growing up, right? How was your childhood like?
I didn't really have like too much of a bad childhood. I don't think so. I got a lot of things growing up. I never really wanted for much, but where we come from, streets and things like that is like something that's second nature. Like we're around it, so even if you're not really a part of it, like you just see it. You're a part of it by default.
Okay. So can you describe one of the hardest moments that you faced as a kid in Baltimore, and a moment that really changed you forever?
Probably losing people, like losing my dad, then my uncle. They was real tough. Like things I'm still getting over to this day. So the death of like loved ones from street violence is probably like by far the hardest thing I ever dealt with.
Okay, so was there ever a time that you felt completely lonely in this world, and how did you survive through that?
When I lost my dad, I felt lonely, but it was the first time it ever happened, so it was kind of like, and I was young, so I was kind of like feeding that narrative of like turning into a positive
Okay.
because I was so young, and I was trying to channel that anger, so that's how I got into boxing.
Mm.
But when it happened to my uncle, then it was like I was grown already. I'm 20 years old. I spent 20 years of my life with my uncle. I had to really dig deep to find myself, and that's like where I am now. This is probably like the first time I ever been like, open and moved on from my uncle situation.
Mm. Okay, so later on we'll dive more into family, but what was like one of those harder decisions that you ever had to make, and do you regret it?
What was the hardest decision?
That you had to make, and do you regret it?
Um, Probably the going pro was probably the hardest decision I ever had to make.
Mm.
Like turning professional from like the major amateur background I had, that probably was the hardest decision. And do I regret? No, because I feel like I'm a strong believer in like if you change one thing, everything else would have changed. So I don't think I regret it, but I mean I do think about it sometimes.
Mm. Okay, cool. So we spoke on your dad, we spoke on your uncle and relationships, and then we spoke on, you know, turning pro, right?
Yeah.
But let's dive a little bit more into family, right? So in your household when you was young, how was that constructed? And how many like do you have siblings or
I got me, my little brother Dante, and my big brother Maurice, and then my mom.
okay, so it's all boys in the house.
Yeah, all boys.
And then like what's the system for okay, a single mom at this time, due to the passing of your dad, right?
Yeah.
How was the house constructed with three boys in there? Like how do y'all even survive with y'all?
I mean, it was a ton of sports,
Right.
a ton of sports, and then the big brother turned into kind of like the father.
Right.
So my big brother was like he was my number one role model until I was like probably 15, 16, where I get to going out to the world and I'm seeing other people that's in the field that I'm in. But that was like my first big person that I like wanted to be like. Was my big brother.
Okay, okay. And your little brother, where is he
Yeah.
at in this picture?
Uh, so my little brother, like, I'm 5 years older than him, so like, he was just always the little brother. It was just a lot of sports. Like, he got the kind of like I mean, he got like the good side of the batch because it's like he got two brothers that could take care of him, and then my mother, like, she understanding how to. It's her third kid. It ain't new to her. So I mean, that's the baby boy. Like the baby boy, he don't really got too many problems.
Nah, facts.
Yeah.
Fact. I'm out of all the boys, I'm the baby boy, so
Yeah.
I got to really do whatever I
Yeah,
wanted
do
to.
whatever.
And they had to
Exactly.
be governed, so I get
Exactly.
that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so what's one important thing that your mother taught you and that still stick with you in today's time?
Man, complaining. Like complaining is strength. Like, you our family. You know how our mom is. Like, it's just like she always said, like, nobody gonna care really. Like, you take care of family, you do what you gotta do. And once you make excuses and complaints, that's gonna always be your thing. So she just always want me to keep going and keep going.
Okay, so what's one of the hardest decisions that you had to make when it came to family? Because I asked you on life, but I want to dive deeper into the actual family. Like, what's one of the hardest decisions that you had to decipher throughout your life and where you at now, and say, okay, cool, this is what when you narrow it towards family, this is what I have to do.
The hardest decision is probably like learning how to take care of them without like losing yourself. Like,
Mm.
like family, you almost feel like when you like in a place where you the winner and you the provider or however it may be. Like no, like you start to feel entitled to your family. When in all actuality, you know, like you really not, but you still should take care of them. You know, that's just how certain hearts is. Like my heart is, I should always take care of them, but it's a certain way to do it. That's probably the hardest decision where I gotta tell them no, or at the time I can't do it, or like certain things gotta be choosed upon. Like you can't get that right now, but you can get this. Like needs from wants, things like that. I think that'll always be the hardest.
I like that. I like that. That's some good thing. Okay, so tell me, right? How do you recognize like who are your true friends and who your true family is versus the people who only just want to be around for like the fame and the lights?
I mean, I just kind of figured out these things like shit last week, 2 weeks ago. But I think honestly, I think losing or like adversity, I would say, because you know a loss is a lesson, but adversity, you don't never know. Like I've been winning since I was 19 years old. I've been number one in the country all my life.
Right.
I never experienced a loss till a year and a half ago. I never experienced real losing. So I just start determining like what's good from bad and what's a good person and what's a bad person or a good friend or what's a bad friend. So I mean I'm not perfect. Like I'm just figuring these things out. But I think from where I'm sitting, adversity will tell you who the right people. Because when it's not all good, some people gonna be around, and when it's all good, everybody gonna be around.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. I like that. I like that. Okay, so what's the most important quality that you're looking for in a partner, especially considering your lifestyle and the commitments that come with being a boxer?
Somebody that can help me. You know, like being in the field that I'm in, like helping my emotions and you know, like helping me with just me being better as a person. Like not looking at me as someone in the ring because like the ring is so much of my life that sometimes I just don't want to. You know, I just want to be away from it.
Mm, I like that. I like that. Okay, so we spoke on that, the
Yeah.
commitment and the personal thing, right? So, are you single or are you dating?
Yeah, I'm single right now, but
Okay,
I mean, right now at this second, I'm just not like I got big opportunities coming and I need to really capitalize. So I'm not really on the relationship thing, but I mean, I'm a relationship type of person though.
okay. So,
Yeah,
what's your opinion about dating in these times in this generation?
I mean, it's hard. But I wouldn't say like a lot of people say it's different times and stuff. I think it was always a thing. It's just more broader now because of social media. But I think they was always ask for money and things like that. Now I feel like it's just more of like what you can do for somebody more than just you being you. Like it ain't too much sticking around or, you know, like it's just what you can do for a person.
Okay, okay. So, what's that one thing that boxers go through that people don't know about?
Probably loneliness or like losing weight is probably what every fighter would say, but how lonely the sport is. Like at the end of the day, I can have 50 people right here. When the bell rings, it's gonna be me in there by myself.
Facts, facts. Yeah,
Yeah,
facts. Okay, so just at 7 years old, you stepped into the boxing ring, right?
yeah.
What drew you to the sport of boxing at such young age?
Uh, like a lot of people chose to box. I chose it, and at the same time, I like was forced into it. Not forced, but like it found me at the same time. So when I was young, like my dad passed away. So if anybody would talk about like dad things or dad jokes, I would just fight. I would just fight them. Or if I couldn't argue, I would just fight. Like that was just my natural thing. So my mom put me in boxing, and the feeling that I got from boxing was just like it's just a different feeling. Like even to this day, like me like re getting the love to boxing, like how I was when I was a kid it's just a different feeling I never got nowhere. Like, I would play sports. I would play basketball, football. I was real good at like, a lot of things. I was just an athlete, but like boxing just gave me like a real love. Like boxing is just like something that's so much to me.
Mm, okay. So boxing started as an outlet for you, right? What was that point in your life, that shift, where you knew that this could be an actual career instead of just like anger?
Um, Probably like getting on the USA team and things like that. I realized like I'm really good at it. Like it's not like in other sports I was average. It was fun because all my friends was playing basketball and football, so I was just playing with them. But when I realized like this was my thing, and a lot of people could see that this was my thing, and I was like, I just keep winning. That's when I realized like it's no point in me keep wasting my time on something that I'm not all into, and I really love this thing.
Okay, so you had an incredible amateur career, right, with multiple national championships, right? What's the biggest difference that you noticed when transitioning from amateur to professional?
Business. Professional is a lot of it. Just is business. A lot of it is business. It's like I mean you can have your fun with it, but it's serious. Like it's not. It's like business is a big part of it. Like amateurs, you more so. It's like recreation. It's serious, but you having fun. Like you ain't really thinking about the dollars. You ain't thinking about none of them type of things or this and that. When you turn pro, it's real sneakish and serious.
Mm, okay, so would you say that boxing is just like, is it just as much as mental as the physical? Like, what's your mindset in the ring? What's the mentality around that?
Yeah, I mean, it may be more mentally than physical
Mm,
because like the smallest thing mentally can get you knocked out or hurt bad in the ring. If you wander off on a basketball court, you can pass it to somebody, stuff like that. Like you can sub out. Ain't no stopping when you fighting. Like you can't stop.
yeah, yeah. We just recently seen
Yeah.
Tank take the
I
time
just
out.
knew you was gonna say that.
He took a time out. You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying? So I
that
mean,
was a specialty privilege, I guess. But I mean, he said something was hurting his eye.
yeah. Okay, cool. So people see the fight night, right? But they don't see the sacrifices behind the scenes, right? So what's that one thing about a boxer's life that during camp is, other than losing weight, is like one of the hardest things?
Just like first for being away from family, being away from people. It's like putting an animal somewhere, barely feeding it, and then letting them out. Like for real, like it's like a real camp. Like it's really like that. Like and then you on schedule every day. One day you might get off schedule, might mess up the week. Like it's just a lot of grind, focus. But it's a beautiful thing because you can push yourself to levels that you never seen yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he said it was time for me to
Yeah, you
go
were
home.
trying to leave.
I was
You
trying to
want to eat
go.
Raising Cane?
Boy, I was trying to get out of there. I'm like, yeah,
Nah, you can't do
this
that.
is just a different type of one right here, right?
It's different.
Okay, so every fighter has a signature style, right? How
Yeah.
would you describe yours, and what makes you different from your competition?
I don't think I'm the strongest. I don't think I'm the fastest. But I think my I just think so much differently. Like, I mean, you didn't see me spar before. I can call out certain things. I can just see certain things. I just think it was a gift that I just had. Like, I always could see differently and operate differently from everybody else. But I was never the strongest, the biggest, the baddest, or the fastest.
Okay, so when you just said that you can point out different things, right? And then
Yeah.
you spoke on this year, well, a year and a half, you discovered a loss,
Yeah.
right? What was something different in the ring that you didn't see that you usually see all the time, or was it an outside thing that the world don't know about during that period of time?
I mean, it was more so outside.
Okay.
Cause when things started affecting me outside, so growing up, like going back to growing up, I had like good people around me, like cousins like you, my brothers, my uncle. I never really had to deal with nothing. Like just to be honest, I never had to. I would just box, go to school, and that would just be like my life.
Right.
Sports, school. I never like wanted to be in the streets. I never, nothing. Never. I never really faced the real obstacles and had to deal with them by myself. So when I became grown and people was away, you know, mom here and this and that, I started dealing with obstacles on my own. So it was like brand new to me. So when that started to happen, I would like get like it took me away from boxing. I wasn't training as much. You know, I always train. I wasn't training as much. I wasn't as focused. I was trying to channel myself. Like, you know, it's new. It's brand new to me. So when I started, I just had to go through that course. And in the mix, all I was knew to box. It was times where I shouldn't have probably been in the ring, but that's all I knew. So I would go fight.
Right.
But mentally, I probably should never been in the ring.
Yeah. So, because I heard Keyshawn spoke on that. Like, Keyshawn was like, bro, we still human. We still got outside things that we go into. I know a variety of different boxers spoke on that.
Yeah.
But this in recent times, Keyshawn spoke on that. Like, yo, look, sometimes it don't even be the loss in the ring. It be something that's
You
going
lost
on
way
outside.
before the fight, yeah.
Yeah, yep. So I'm glad that you actually showed the world, like, yo, he's still human too as well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Okay, so cool. You moved up in weight from 154 to 160, and now you at 168.
Yeah.
How more comfortable are you at a fight at 168? And what do you feel? Do you feel like that's the best weight for you?
I'm still learning my body, but it's definitely the more comfortable weight. But probably the best, I don't know. I might go back down to 60. Might collect the title or something just to make some noise down there and come back up to 68. But I'm really trying to figure out like, is it harder or I need to hire somebody to make it better, you know, or is it just really I can't make it no more? So that's where I'm at now, figuring that out.
Okay, cool. So you trained with Coach Calvin for years, right?
Yeah.
But now you transition and move to Houston, and you have a new coach,
Yeah.
right? How did that transition impact your style of fighting?
Impact my style. I don't know how it affected my style because it's like I know so many things and been with so many like different people and you know studying and watching and sparring so many different people that I know a lot of styles. So I could just change styles. Like one day I could be a boxer, one day I could be forward, one day I could be aggressive. Affecting my style, I think more so the biggest thing in Houston is like it's structure and it's something that I really needed because you know like at the time me and Coach Calvin were so used to each other that it's a lot of like I can almost do what I want, you know. Like he's like a dad to me. He might cuss at me, but you know, like your uncle or mother might talk to you, but you've been around him so long, you can get away with certain things. Like you know how to operate with him. Like, you cannot hear it and stuff like that. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like that's the biggest thing, Houston. It gave me structure and to know what really to do.
Okay, so what's something that you learned from your new coach that you didn't focus on as much before?
Um, a lot of things. I mean, my new coach, Ronnie Shields, they had maybe over 100 world champions, 50 world champions, been in it probably 40 years. So, I mean, he more so take the things that I learned from Calvin and he sharpens me. He sharpened them up and he like make sure that I know what I'm doing. Because a lot of times I would just had a skill. I was just blessed with the skill. Whereas though me not knowing why to do this and what to do. So I think that's what he really taught me.
I like that. Okay, cool. So what's something that you always see yourself as fashion forward, right? When it comes to boxing outfits before a match, right? What goes into the design process and how do you use fashion to express yourself in the ring?
I always was like somebody that like really believed in like if you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you do good.
Right.
So I mean, during camp, I think about the day before outfit, the press conference outfit, the weigh-in outfit. It drives me crazy sometimes, but I mean, I just like feeling good, and fashion was just one of them things that I've been good at because I just always been intrigued by it.
Okay, so what outfit so far, as far as your boxing outfit, the day when you walking out that tunnel, which one you feel like is the best?
The best, probably Ben and Jerry.
Ben and Jerry.
Ben and Jerry was fire.
Yeah, that was fire.
Ben and Jerry, or I had one with like Louis Vuitton. Like Louis Vuitton,
Pink.
I had white too. Louis Vuitton rubbed me into cut and crafted into a uniform.
Yeah.
So I
That's the
mean,
gray.
yeah,
That was Brooklyn.
yeah. One of them was fire.
Yeah, that was Brooklyn. That was a good. That card was crazy.
Yeah.
That card was crazy. That card was crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, right. So, what's your list of favorite fighters or greatest favorite fighters of all time from 1 to 5?
One, I would go Pernell Whitaker.
For now.
That was my favorite just because you don't see a lot of left-handed fighters. And then he was slick, had fun with it. He would dance and play and not get hit. So Pernell probably won. Floyd. Like these mines, right? Like
Yeah.
not just Floyd, probably Tank. Who else? Pernell, Floyd, Tank. At one point in time in my life, I was a big Winky Wright fan.
Right.
And then Tyson, like of course Tyson mentality was just different.
Okay, cool. So, you said Pernell,
Floyd,
Floyd,
Tank.
Tank,
I'm gonna go Ali, and then Tyson.
Tyson.
Mike Tyson, yeah.
Mike Tyson. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So, we see that you have an OnlyFans sponsor now. How did that come about, and why did you choose them to, for them to represent you?
I just always liked the different things. OnlyFans reached out. I just thought it was dope of how they reached out to me because I know a lot of people. I'm just clear the air. A lot of people think that it's just a porn type of thing, but before the pandemic, OnlyFans was a business type of thing, like where you could teach people could pay you X amount to teach them something. You could learn something, almost kind of like a Discord or something like that. Like
Okay.
so, just a dope ways that I could contact my fans, especially the ones if somebody paying for something, they really want to be a fan. So I can see who really for me and who really want to know certain things. I can ask them questions instead of me dealing with 100,000 people and DMs and I can't work it. But these amount of fans, they're my core fans.
Okay, cool. I like that. So, what's the difference between the spots that you had before and with knowing business?
Yeah.
And OnlyFans now, like, what do you like about them on the business side and how they handle things?
I remember OnlyFans. My first partnership with them was a fight that the whole world thing I got robbed by.
Right.
I was a little like frustrated, sad, but they let me know that they were still with me. Anything that I needed, I could take a break from social media. They just let me know that they was gonna be with me regardless. They love me and they gonna stick with me. So that right there just made me feel different because when certain things happen or losses and stuff, business goes sideways.
I like that. Okay, I like that. Okay, so boxing has taken you places, right?
Yeah.
That you probably never imagined, right? So growing up in Baltimore, how was traveling for us fights and change your perspective on life?
It was major for me growing up because I would come back to school thinking that everybody come back to school outside whatever thinking that everybody seen these things, and then I started realizing that I was like it was a blessing because a lot of people didn't go to places that I had the chance to go with doing boxing. I get to go to probably 40 states out of 50 in the United States. I've probably been to 8 countries all because of boxing. So I mean, it's really a blessing.
Okay. So, what's one misconception that people have about the city that you wish you could change?
I think they think that it's all violence. I don't feel as though it's like that. Of course, you got some incidents where it was like wrong place, wrong time. But for the most part, if you're not in them type of things or with them certain type of people, a lot of people live in Baltimore. A lot of rich people live in Baltimore. A lot of good people live in Baltimore and think it's amazing. They are living their life and never experience violence.
Right. Okay. So, do you feel like Baltimore truly supports you on your journey?
Yeah, I really appreciate it by Baltimore because You know, a lot of times where I seen people lose or certain things, they would just leave them. But every time I come back or walking around, running around, they always telling me like they pushing for me, they watching me, things like that. And when you coming from like the field I'm in and it's ups and downs, highs and lows, sometimes them compliments are appreciated. Yeah.
Okay. So, how do you personally define success, and what does success look like, both in and out the ring?
In the ring, I just want to change a lot of lives with boxing. Like, I want a lot of kids to look at me as a champion, a true warrior, somebody that loved the game, uh, dealt with all parts of the game, where it was management, promotion, losses, wins, championships. That I always stayed true to the game. Outside the ring, man, like my heart I just want to help a lot of people. Like I'm not one of them people that care if I leave with $1 billion and things like that. The more lives I can change, the more better I think. That I'll be happier when I go eventually.
Okay, I like that. Okay, cool. So, when the gloves eventually come off, right? What do you see yourself doing in the future?
I don't know. I might be on an island somewhere, 300 pounds, Richard Million. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I just want to change lives. I know maybe some foundations, things like that. I don't think I'm kind of not caring about certain stuff now. So I think then, I mean, I just want to help people,
Right.
but I want to be at peace too. Like I want to experience the whole world, like live in different countries and help so many people. Uh, change boxing a little bit, for the better. Like any type of way I can, and just help you.
I like that. Okay, cool. So, okay, all right. So, is there any particular fight or opponent that you hope to face in the next 5 years that will like redefine that moment in that career?
Um, Probably the biggest name that everybody would know is probably like
Canelo.
Canelo. Yeah, I would hope I would get the Canelo fight. Yeah, honestly, but
He
man,
might be
it's a
gone.
yeah, he might be gone because I'm so young, but it's a lot of guys, man. Just the biggest and best fights. Like, I want to be one of them that fought. Like he fought all the time. Like anybody who they say was good, we just fought. Like, and we just seen what it was.
Okay. So, where do you see yourself making a lasting impact in the sports? Like,
Uh,
what do you want your legacy like to be? I know you just talked about fighting
yeah.
everybody and stuff like that, but like, what's that legacy that dream legacy like that you want in the back of your head?
Just more so admiring my all the work, like skill, like admiring like how I did certain things and admiring the champion that I was and that I was soon to be. That's more than like the accolades, because I know the accolades. Like when you get the accolades, if you got 5 championships, somebody gonna get 6 and 7. That's what time and history means. Like it's meant to just keep going and going. So I want somebody to really know me as a fighter, like my skill and ability.
Mm, I like that. Okay, so a lot of kids in Baltimore, right, face similar struggles.
Yeah.
What's some advice that you would give to a young boy in today that's looking for a way out or a purpose?
Um, don't let nobody tell you that it can't happen. Man, there's so many stories out here where things that wasn't supposed to happen happened. I didn't see people that was the worst people growing up, or far as skillfully, like they would either been the sorriest person, end up being the best person later on in time, just because they stuck with it and they kept grinding and grinding. So I mean, long as you believe and know what you can do, just stick to it.
Okay, so looking back on your journey, right? What's that one moment that made you realize that you're no longer just a fighter? I mean, you're no longer just fighting for yourself, but you fighting for something bigger.
Um, I mean, I kind of know that I got a lot of supporters, and I'm fighting for a lot of things, especially like the people that's gone that I can't get back. But I mean, I don't know still. I'm still so young. Like I think there's a lot of things that's coming in the future that I don't know, but I know that it's bigger than me for sure.
Like kids.
Yeah, definitely. Like kids, family, of course, and just people that I might not know. It might be a kid that's just like me right now, that's 4 or 5 year old, or that's not born, that might look up to me and have the same story. I just want them to know that it can happen. A lot of times get discouraged. People get discouraged because they don't think it can happen.
Right. Okay. So we just spoke on kids. How many kids you
what? If I have a daughter first, I probably would just stop.
Okay.
But if I have a son first, I probably would go for 3, or until I have a daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Okay. And then I know you got the kids going on, so.
Man, why you keep pushing kids over? Why you keep saying kids?
I know, because we just spoke with a kid part, but I'm saying is the marriage gonna come behind this, or do you even believe in marriage, or
yeah? I mean, when I was younger, I didn't really care for marriage. I ain't gonna lie. In my life, I ain't see too many marriages, so it just wasn't a thing. But yeah, I would want to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely want to get married.
Yeah. You do know that that people that desire for girls first, that have a kid, have a daughter first, usually had a kid first. So between me and you probably gonna have a kid
people
first.
That desire what?
Like girls first.
Like
a daughter first.
Yeah, they usually have them first.
Always had the kids first before anybody else. So I'm just saying you gonna have the kids before me. So I ain't trying to push it on you.
You trying to say before you?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I don't think so.
Hey, I got my shit tied already. But nah, man. Okay, so if you could go back in time, right, and you can give advice to your younger self, what's that one piece of advice would it be?
Go with your gut feeling. And why? Because a lot of times in parts that I struggled in my life was because I would just go with the flow. I would just certain things that I know ain't make me feel comfortable, or I ain't think was right because of my peers or however, or it might have been my team, or it might have even been Calvin, or it might have been whoever. If I ain't think it's right, or you don't think it's right, I think that you should speak up about it, just so that you can be comfortable, and maybe they might explain to you why, but at least just not just going with the flow where I'm not saying things. So a lot of my times I would just go with the flow and not speak my mind.
Okay, cool, right? And this is an amazing question to ask before we go into the speed round. You feel me, right? If I was boxing, right?
Who will win?
Huh?
Who will win?
No, not between me and you. You know what I'm saying? What would you rate me at for pound right now? Between all the pound for pound fighters right now.
And the pound for pound list is 10 people.
Yeah, and I'm fighting at
How would I rank you?
I'm fighting in between 130 all the way up to
You wouldn't be on there. You wouldn't be on there.
It's always your family that just.
I mean, you just.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, if I say top 5 cameramen or top pound for pound, I think you're amazing. Honestly, I think you're really amazing. But boxing, take the hell out of love it, bro.
So my first time in the ring, I ain't dropped 2 people.
You did, but look at the quality of people.
What you mean? They wasn't that longer than me.
They wasn't pound for pound.
All right, man. Okay.
They wasn't. But you did drop 2 people, though.
I think I'm in 2 different.
He's not lying. He did drop 2 people.
I think I'm in 2 different weight classes. I think I'm gonna come to 47. I don't think Ryan.
You cannot make no 47.
I don't think Ryan got me. I don't think Tevin got me.
So you think you could take Ryan's left hook?
No.
But so what you would do?
I'm neutralizing that.
Oh my God.
Well, my skills at and the
your
jab.
Skills at?
And the jab, I got the distance and I got that. Now Terrence, I think me and Terrence gonna probably get a draw. And
do y'all hear this guy talk about legend?
I got Earl.
You got Earl?
After the car accident.
What?
I got him.
He would still beat you.
We gotta see. But
if this video
another draw.
If this video get a certain amount of I will drop his sparring, and y'all tell me if he can last these people. Because I definitely got sparring of you dropping people, but they will see your skill.
Okay. And I think like that 130 to 135 made Tank a draw. And
Oh, so
everybody
now because
else.
Tank got a draw, Lamont Roach, you think you gonna get a draw?
No.
So why you think you gonna get a draw?
I think me coming down and weight,
You're not gonna be able to make the
I'm
weight.
just gonna be a much bigger body. So I think Tank, it's gonna get Tank a little proud.
You 6'3". You think that you gonna make 130?
Yeah, I think
you gonna die. Like, you gonna look like 50 Cent on that movie.
Yeah.
A skeleton.
I'm just playing for everybody that will see this. You know what I'm saying? Nah. You know what I'm saying?
Good,
Yeah,
good.
I'm playing. Okay, so cool. We're in the speed round, right? I gotta do the buzzer.
What is that?
That's just that's me entering the speed round.
Oh,
You
okay.
know what I'm saying? So the speed round is keep or delete, right? Mm-hmm. So you gotta keep one or you gotta delete one, right? But as I actually say these different ones to you, you actually have to say I'm keeping such and such and I'm deleting such and such, right? So let's get it. Floyd Mayweather or Muhammad Ali, keep or delete. I got him.
Keep Ali.
Delete
Floyd.
Okay. UA or Nike?
Keep Nike. Delete UA.
Drake or Kendrick?
Keep Drake. Delete Kendrick.
You still my cousin. Okay. Training or sparring?
Keep training. Delete sparring.
Okay. Unlimited traveling or unlimited traveling for free or $1 million?
Unlimited traveling for free. I would keep delete $1 million.
Okay. SB Dunks or Jordan 1s?
Jordan 1s. Keep Jordan 1s. Delete SB Dunks.
Okay. Franklin High School or St. Francis?
But far as what though? Far as what?
Keep or delete.
I'm keeping Franklin. I'm deleting St. Francis.
Okay. All right. So, bonus one. Will Smith or Denzel? Hot seat.
Is this just on acting or person?
Just keep or delete.
I would have to keep Will Smith. Do you know Will Smith is an artist, actor,
I would say
a business mogul.
I would see you say that. It's giving Fresh Prince anyway.
Like, he does so much. He's so much. But Denzel just an amazing, great actor. But Will Smith is just so much.
Okay, cool. So appreciate you for coming on. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Always.
I appreciate you, and it's like I'm super duper proud of you, man. Like, just knowing where we came from and just seeing you elevate. Just the part is just amazing. Even just your production, your investment back into yourself, your growth. It's amazing to see, honestly.
Same here. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Hey, the next so that next fight, right? What we expecting? Like, what's the fans expecting?
Oh, I'm killing everything. Okay. I'm locked in. I'm focused. Just like I told you, mental was 9, and you know, you my cousin, so you know I haven't been the best. Yeah. You know, but now I feel like with these new opportunities and transitions and different choices that I made, I mean, it's no excuse. I think I can be my best.
Okay, cool. So, anything you want to promote? That's your camera. And is there any advice that you would give to the younger generation, too, as well?
So, promotion. Just stick with me. Follow me on all platforms at Lorenzo_Simpson. And you know, let's rock out. Witness greatness. And to my who?
And to the people that's coming up behind you, what's any good advice that you would want to give them?
Just stick to it. Don't let nobody tell you that you cannot do it. You can do it. I mean, you can be different. It's cool to be different. It's cool to be weird, you know? Weird turn into greatness. They ain't told Zuckerberg. They told Zuckerberg that he was weird. They told Jeff Bezos that he was crazy. And look at these guys now. They accomplished historical things and went beyond measures. So nothing you do is weird. You're just different. That's it.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Well,
Definitely.
Yes. You got. Shoot, that's cool. Where the food at?